Good morning. One of the things about getting up early in the morning and taking a walk with my dog is sometimes it gives me some great perspective. So it was early this morning. So it's about a little bit after 6. I decided to take my dog on a walk. It's still really dark outside. So I love to look up at the stars, right? I'm one of those people, I'm going to get me a telescope, but it's okay. I digress. I digress on the telescope. But I begin to look up at the stars and I just begin to just think about life and time that we're given because we're given time. Time is not a real thing. It's not a real construct. And I know you have probably heard people say that, but I'm not even going to even touch on that. But I was just thinking about time and the time that we're given. And then it made me think about the parable of the 3 talents in the Bible. And I'll get into that in a second, but we're all given the same amount of time, right? And what we do with our time determines everything about us. It determines who we are, who we're becoming, what we're going to do in life, the people that we choose in our life. All of that surrounds the concept of how we spend our time and the things that we want to achieve in life. So I begin to ask myself personally, how are you spending your time? And I really think people need to take a look at that. Okay? So how does this correlate to the parable of the 3 talents? Because in the parable of the 3 talents, a lot of times when I'm in church or was in church, a lot of times people reference that to money. So, the parable of the 3 talents is this. So the master goes away on a trip. But before he goes away, he gives one servant 5 talents. He gives another servant 2 talents, and he gives another servant 1 talent. So he goes away on a trip and then he comes back, and then the master expects them to be accountable. Well, the one with 5 talents, he said, I did this and that with the money and I made more. So he said, bless you. So he gave him more. The person with 3 talents, the same thing happened. He blessed him and gave him more because he did something with it. Then there was the person who said, you know what? You gave me this 1 talent and I was afraid, so I hid it until you came back. But here it is. That one that he gave him was taken from him. So how is this relevant to time? How you spend your time. If you spend your time and put your time and concentrated effort into purpose, into something that you really want to do and that you really see the outcome, the more that you put your time into it, the more that's going to be given to you to put more into it. And you're going to get the reward. But the person who had 1 talent to me is a representation of a person who is afraid. They've got the idea, but they're afraid to launch it. They wanna quit that job, but they're afraid to do it. They want to ask that person on a date, because I want to be positive. They want to ask that person on a date, but they're afraid to do it. That's the person who hides their talent and doesn't utilize their time properly. And for that person, especially in this world, if you don't utilize your time properly, even the time that you have is going to be taken away from you. So if you think, oh my God, I can't leave that job because, it's creating a sense of security for me, but I really want to do this. Well, if you stay in that secure place, even that's going to be taken from you. That's what I'm saying. So whatever your gifts and your abilities and the things that it is that you want to do and the things that you want to accomplish, baby, You got to get out there and actually do it and put in the effort. So that whole scripture has really just kind of expounded to me. And that's what I love about spirituality as a whole. Spirituality is not finite. Spirituality is infinite, which means you can learn and expand from one scripture. It'll take you to a whole nother place, right? One thought can expand to something completely, y'all already know. How many of y'all have created a whole story in your minds of something that has never, ever happened? We've all done it. So if one thought can expand into a movie, then what can your actions do to expand your life? Well, that was just my early morning thought. So excuse the appearance, but you know what? In this spiritual journey, I'm real and authentic. So you'll see me like this. You'll see me in other way. It don't even matter. What matters is what I'm doing on the inside of me and what I'm building on the inside of me. Happy Tuesday, y'all.